Breece, what are your I know there were high hopes on Aaron maybe coming back. What are your thoughts now?
Just do the best thing. We there though. Today, he has nothing to prove. He is our leader, and we'd love to see him back. But if he doesn't feel like he can, he shouldn't have to.
Do you admire the effort that he put into trying to be with you guys these last few games?
Yeah, because I know what it feels like. From my rehab standpoint, and me trying to be back for the first game, I didn't know until the first game that I was going to play. So I definitely appreciate it.
Do you believe the future is still bright for this franchise?
Yeah, I do, just because of the guys that we have, guys like Aaron, guys like C.J. Mosley, guys like me and Garrett, guys like Jordan Woodhead, guys like C.J. Reed, and guys like the Williams brothers, just because we have guys like that come up.
Are you looking forward to following Aaron next season?
To what?
Are you looking forward to following him next year?
Yeah, for sure. He's my locker mate, so we talk about stuff all the time. So I won't say too much, but I'm excited for sure.
What are the hopes things could turn around offensively on Sunday? What do you guys have to do?
I don't know. I can just tell y'all to watch the tape, and whatever y'all see is what y'all see at the end of the day. I just go out there, try to do my 111.
Is it all about pride these last few games, and does that play into everything here?
For me personally, no. I play every snap with pride. I go out there thinking I'm the best player out there every week, and hoping I get chances to show that. For me, I'm just trying to finish the season strong. I'm thankful to be able to say I've been playing every game this season. I hope to be able to say I can play some games.
Did you learn a lot of stuff from Rodgers, just being next to him, watching the way he works and all of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, watching the way he works, for sure. But all quarterbacks are a little bit lazy because they never have to do anything other than throw at practice and stuff. So, but just him sharing some knowledge and stuff with me and pre-snap stuff that I could always look for, I definitely appreciate it for that.
Has this been a disappointing year in your mind for what the big expectations were?
Obviously the goal is always to win, and we haven't been doing that. And, it sucks and everything like that, but we're still trying to finish our season strong. So I wouldn't say it's a failure. It's just a lesson on the journey that we have.
Garrett, what was your reaction the other day when Aaron said he wants to play 2, 3, 4 more years? Because you were the first person I thought of. That covers the rest of your rookie contract. That's right into your prime. What does it mean to know you'd have a Hall of Fame quarterback for that long?
Yeah, I know that Aaron likes to shoot for the stars and see what happens, man. That's what with him. We don't count nothing out of his reach. He's a special dude, but also just the way he goes about his treatment and stuff like that, and taking care of his body. Stuff like playing until you're 40 or 39 doesn't happen by accident. Like I said, I've seen someone do it in my lifetime, so I wouldn't put it past him.
Does it give you peace of mind at all, knowing that you wouldn't have to play against the quarterback as you enter your prime?
But I love my dog, but it's just I gotta handle myself. But it's great.
We're not playing a little bit for quarterback this week. It's the fourth starting quarterback for you guys this season. And what's the scouting report on him? What's your chemistry like with him?
We're building it. It's not the strongest. We haven't had much time, but we're trying to put it on film. We had a good week of practice. Body feels good, and dummy feels good. And I think he feels the same.
You guys have faced defenses this year at different times. Washington not ranked nearly as high. As a receiver, when you're going into this one, do you look at it as an opportunity to put on a show a little bit?
Normally, yeah. See what happens.
How will you and Aaron, you guys were so on the same page in training camp, how will you guys get back on the same page? He's not involved in actual team reps or whatnot right now. Garrett, so are you guys getting any reps together? You and him right now?
Me and Aaron take advantage of every rep we can get together. When he's throwing it, I'll opportunity to go catch it, I'm gonna make sure I tuck the ball to the line, or I might go back and squat in line, and that's kind of where we're at right now. We obviously know we're not getting those game reps, so it's not as big of emphasis on it, but we're definitely taking a lot of reps together when we can.
Part of it, I mean this in a good way, but are you in any way, shape, or form getting a little tired of being asked about Aaron over his? I mean, I feel like we've been writing about it since he was coming here, not coming here, and then now he is. Now we're all the way down now.
Well, that's the thing. I got asked about it for the, however many months it was leading up to the season, and we were supposed to go out and play, and then, it was an unfortunate event, and so now it's just all they say. I want to go out there and do it, man. So until that day, I don't think I'm tired of it. I love to answer questions about Aaron. Easy guy to talk about, great dude, but also, we're just not. We haven't played, great. Now, I got to focus on what we got here. And as far as what's going to be on the field on Sunday, it is what it is. We got to answer those questions because the circumstances are what they are.
How difficult is it with, you're on your fourth quarterback? It hasn't happened here since 1989, going for different starting quarterbacks. How difficult is that for you and the team?
I'm sure it's difficult for the team and stuff like that. But for me, I just got to go out and do my job, walk on my way, make a play, get open, and see where that puts us. When the clock hits zeros. That's been my mindset on it. It's something I'm, building, getting a little used to be honest. So, just being consistent on who I am, holding myself to my standard, and whatever's going on around me is what it is.
Obviously, winning's the priority. But does 1,000 yards mean something to you over the last whatever it is, 3 games?
I want 1,000 yards. I want that really bad. Period.
The way you're into this number of quarterbacks
I've thought about it. I don't put too much thought into it. I'm trying to focus on being the best version of me, and I feel like stuff like that doesn't help. But the reality of it is I'm human. I like to be conscious of what's going on in my, where I'm at. I like to reflect on my days, reflect on a month, a week, whatever it may be, and sometimes when I do those reflections, I gotta face the facts of what's going on, and take some of the pressure off myself that I put on myself, because the reality of it is this hasn't been built for me to go out there and do what I think I can do, and that is what it is. But I got to be the best version of me, and I'm constantly on the chase of that.
What does it say about you as a player? Because you look at some of the best receivers in the NFL, the guys who put up these absurd numbers. They're doing it all with one guy, pretty much from week 1 through 18, and then into the playoffs. Year 1 and 2, you put up 1,000 yards last year. You're chasing it again this year. You've established yourself as one of the best receivers in the league, and you haven't had that luxury. It seems like every couple of weeks there's somebody else coming in there.
My fault. What you guys doing?
What does it say about you as a player, and the fact you've been able to be this productive despite not having that consistency on your side?
I think that he's, I think someone could say that, he's serious about the way he goes about his stuff. He doesn't let a lot of the outside noise get to him. I would think that's, a takeaway someone could have. I don't know. That's for y'all, to be honest. I don't know. I just try and be me, who I am. And I feel different on different days. It's just, how can I play good football today? How can I be the best version of myself today? That's really what it is. And reflecting on it, I don't think takes away from either side of it, but it's just being conscious of it. So, I want to be aware of it. So, yeah, you're not wrong. That's the reality, and it's not my reality, and I got to make it with my reality.
I thought we gave up some explosive plays that is uncharacteristic of us. And there was a drive there that I was disappointed with as far as the execution was concerned. There were some calls I could have made better. Overall, though, the effort was right. It's exactly what we ask of our players from an effort standpoint, from a finish standpoint. And I was proud of that part of their game. I really was.
So how do you keep that effort going, when there's, nothing, playoffs aren't, you're not playing for the playoffs at this point?
I think every time you cross the white line, it's an opportunity to show who you are, individually and collectively. It's, I try to talk to these guys. Obviously there's an element of there's a relationship amongst the group in that room that is so tight, and I think you have an obligation to honor that relationship with how you play for each other. And I think there's also an element to the business side of this where, and I've told the guys this, when coaches watch tape, when front offices watch tape, they don't watch it with context most of the time. They just watch cut-ups and they just go through the tape. So they don't know if you're in it, out of it. They don't know if you're up by 40, down by 40. They just know the player that they're evaluating and watching. So from that standpoint, you always got to demonstrate who you are, regardless of the circumstance. When the circumstance starts to define who you are, you're not going to last in this league very long. Big game, you get up, and then you get beat by the slappy team that you should have beat. You know, it's the Super Bowl, and now all of a sudden I'm going to become Superman. No, you just. It's a championship process in everything you do all the time. You know, regardless of the record, regardless of what we're playing for or not.
On the Waddle touchdown, it looked like you guys were in a two safety look. So should DJ have had some help, deep help on Waddle on that one?
Yeah, there's a component to that where they doctored it up well. I'll give them a lot of credit as far as making it look like a previous look where we had to catch that high cross coming back. But yeah, the execution wasn't what it could have been, should have been, and I'll put that on myself first. Obviously, I didn't make it clear enough regarding the help that he should have had.
What do you see when you look at Washington?
You see kind of the early parts of like a Kansas City. You know, you have some of these concepts that are just, they're an absolute headache because they are so deep. You know, they're almost make-believe routes at times where it's, you know, it's a lot of the stuff that Mahomes has perfected over the years. And you see that they're in the infancy of that. And it's some scary stuff, you know, because there's stuff that really challenges your rules. You have to define, you have to work and rep, and because it is so unique and different. You know, so from that standpoint, you got some explosive opportunities for their offense. At the same time, you got a young quarterback that I feel like is really starting to figure it out. You know, obviously has some struggles early on, as all young quarterbacks do, but he's had some moments too where he looks like a guy. You know, and obviously, as we all know, he's got a plethora of weapons over there. You know, from a wide receiver standpoint, running back standpoint, a lot of guys that can go and a lot of mismatches potentially.
When Revis was here, I know they used to talk about his biggest problem was boredom. Just they would throw it to the side of the field.
Right.
Is that kind of what you saw from Sauce the other day? Like he didn't really get many opportunities to.
I know exactly what you're saying, and I think there is an element to that to some of the great players in this league. But people just avoid them, and they can get bored. I haven't felt that from Sauce, to tell you the truth. I feel like he's always, as you guys know, like he likes to top. He's always got great energy and he's always engaged. So I haven't seen that from him, but it's definitely something that can happen to guys like himself who people just avoid at all costs.
Not that DJ's not a very good cover guy, but do you think about traveling more with him? I know what your philosophy is,
right?
But with Sauce, do you think about traveling more with him when you're playing these big time receivers?
We do sometimes. Like if you really watch the tape and you watch critical moments of the tape, there's times where we do travel a little bit. You know, it's just to do it all the time, it can be very cumbersome, not just for the guy that's traveling. Now it unhinges the nickel, and now it unhinges the safety. Now they're starting to see things from different sides and different places. And we really like to give our guys an opportunity to master the field and understand where the routes are coming from and from what location. So sometimes when you travel, the guy that's traveling probably has the easiest job regarding, I'm following one guy, I know his route tree, I know what routes he runs from each specific spot, but the other guys now, they're starting to see things from completely different angles and sides and different route concepts, different players. So do we do it, and have we done it? Yes. Do we do it as much as some other teams? Probably not. Yeah.
Does losing Jefferson kind of affect the rotation out there?
Yeah, he's absolutely a hard guy to replace. What he brings on the field is effort, strain, experience, awareness. He's been a guy that's been exceptional for us in that way, having one of the best seasons of his career, especially from a sack standpoint. So he's very hard to replace from that standpoint. But we're lucky, you know, as we all know, we have a lot of depth in our defensive line group, and we got a lot of guys that roll. So this is one of those times we're gonna have to lean on that depth.
What do you say for Will McDonald as the season he's about to wrap up?
Yeah, he's consistently is getting better. Obviously with the depth that I just referred to, maybe doesn't have as many opportunities as another first-round pick, especially on the defensive line. But as the season's gone along, he's absolutely taking advantage of those opportunities. Feel like he's getting better every week, and you're starting to see the production, especially from a pass rush standpoint.
Could this be just a potential opportunity for him, especially late in the season, to maybe see some more reps potentially for him?
Yeah, for sure. He's absolutely earned that right. The way he's worked, the way he's continued to push himself and master this front, and so he's definitely earned the right to get more reps, and he will.
You first got here and you saw Bryce. Did you think he could get to where he is now?
Definitely.
Talk about the get off and everything like that.
Yeah, I definitely saw this amazing athlete, with explosion and speed, unlike any of the other guys that we had, and at the same time, saw a guy that I think pound for pound, if he's not the strongest guy on our team, he's up there. So I saw strength, I saw explosiveness and speed, and then I saw a guy with the desire to learn. So I thought there was definitely something special there. You just never know. You never know if a guy can turn into the player that he has. As we all know, pass rushers are so coveted in this era of football, with pass being a premium, and to get guys that can affect the quarterback, it's hard to find. So. Just been super excited for him, for us, obviously, because he's brought a lot to us, and he's provided some rush that we didn't have, especially a win now guy. He's not a guy that necessarily wins with power, and not to say he doesn't have power, but he can win now, and that's coveted in today's football. But to see what he's earned, and I'm excited for his future. Not only more opportunities to play, but the money he's about to make. It's going to be substantial, and he's earned every penny of it.
There's no closers, obviously, in football, but it seems like he's a guy that is kind of like a closer. Like, he doesn't necessarily start, but he's a guy that puts up big numbers and produces.
Yeah, you better believe it. Like, a critical moment in the game, he's going to be on the field for us. He is.
What do you say to a guy like Carl Lawson, who's obviously produced in the league, and he just can't get on the field now? He's just a healthy scratch every week. So what do you say to him, and how does he handle it?
Yeah, I actually just had a conversation with him and kind of spoke to the group regarding him. He's we have this award, Selfless Warrior. If anybody embodies that, it's probably him. A guy that's established himself in this league as a pass rusher that's been productive, and he's been effective, and he's done a lot of good things. So for him to maintain a fantastic mindset and work ethic and attitude, it says a lot about the character of the man that he is. So we're fortunate that a lot of times the guys that are as established as he is, they don't get the same opportunity. They don't play as much as they're accustomed to. That can go sideways really quick, especially from an attitude perspective. But I haven't seen that at all from him. He's been super supportive of his teammates, and even the times that he's been a healthy scratch and hasn't played, he's their eyes out there the entire game. So fortunate he's been a part of our group.
How does your quarterback preparation work this week?
Very carefully. We got to look at all the different things that Trevor's comfortable with that we can get going this week.
Do you operate under the assumption that it's going to be Trevor?
We prepare for everything. There's obviously obvious protocol that we have to go through, but we'll see how it kind of fares out.
Trevor hasn't played a whole lot. Obviously, the relief. Just kind of your thoughts on his play when you have seen him out there.
He goes out there. It's not too big for him. He prepares really well. I think, for the situation, for the lack of practice, I think he's done a pretty good job of running the huddle. It'll be good for him to have the reps that he's had up to this point this week, to have a full week to be able to go out there and then execute.
What happened with pass protection?
It's one of those things. It's a humbling league. We go 2 weeks ago versus a really good Houston team, and I thought the guys did a fantastic job, and then came out and we didn't execute at a high level. I thought we got beat, and I thought that there was a lot of different things that I could have done better to help those guys, and we as a coaching staff to potentially help them, and it just wasn't as good as we all wanted.
When you have an offensive, not to get into specifics, but when you have an offensive line that's not particularly playing well, how can you help that as a coordinator?
Run the ball. I think that's always one thing that can help. Get the ball out quick. That's one of the best defenses for anything, is to have the ball come out of your hand as fast as you can, or protect with more people. So there's a lot of different ways you can do it. You don't want it to be one thing. You want to try to use different ways to do that so you're not the same all the time.
It's obviously rare if you start 4 quarterbacks and you get the season. Have you ever experienced anything like that? And what is it like when you have this situation that you had this year?
Well, one time, my first year in 2013, I believe it was, Buffalo. Actually, my first year coaching when I was quality control in 2006 also. It's hard because you're always looking for consistency. And I think that's the name of this game, is as much consistency as you can find from anywhere on the field. The better you're going to be, the more you're going to be able to progress. And because you always want to continually get better as the season moves on to enter into the playoffs. And that's something that we haven't found this year. And we got to lock in and look at all the different ways that we can create that moving forward.
Aaron gave you a very public endorsement the other day. What does it mean to you, when he comes out, despite all the struggles on offense this year, that he gave such a, full-throated support of you?
I mean, I didn't even know about that. Truthfully, I've been keeping my head down, trying to get Trevor ready for this game. I've got a great relationship with Aaron. Aaron's been with me through a lot of different things, and he knows how I work, how we work as a staff, and so that's always appreciated. But in the end, my focus is on Washington, getting Trevor ready.
What'd you learn from this year, do you think, that can help going forward?
It's always a humbling league. I mean, there's so many different things you have to prepare for, and every time you think that you have seen it all, you got to realize you have not seen it all. From the different things that we've faced throughout this year, I think that those are the things that make you stronger. And as long as you take it that way and are able to grow from it, it'll make you better. So I think for us, looking at all the young guys that are growing and getting the opportunity out there, it might not be pretty sometimes, but there are some things that they're gaining to be able to help this organization in the future.
Another thing Aaron said was he feels that this is a quarterback-friendly offense. I'm curious, what do you think about this offense makes it quarterback-friendly?
It's kind of how we teach it, how the reads, the progressions, some of the flexibility that we give. So I think that there's a lot of different things that go into that, and it's very intricate is the best way to put it. But I've always felt like it's a very quarterback-friendly system.
Ulbrich talked a lot about how, and then you as well, your offenses line up, go kind of similar to what the Eagles do. There's not a lot of pre-snap motions and things of that nature. When sometimes you're trying to free a guy up like Garrett, do you almost have to go out of your own comfort zone a little bit to introduce different philosophies and different things to try to get him going, and how challenging is that? I think
from the very beginning when I first started, it was definitely more static. The original world of this offense was very static, and then as the NFL has developed, there's become a lot more motion, different kinds of motions, fast motions, slow motions, fake motions, counter motions, and that's done a lot to be able to help us because of all the different things that defenses are doing to us. So it has evolved, and we've motioned quite a bit this year, but there is the foundation of just getting up there and going. And when it comes to guys like Garrett, you want to move him around. You want to do everything you can to get him the ball, and that's something that we have to focus on even more.
Do you think it's unfair to judge you based on this year's results, considering you lost your quarterback on the fourth snap?
In the end, my job is to win. My job is to put a good product out there on the offense, and that's what I focus on. As a staff, that's what we want to do. It doesn't matter who's playing for us. That's what we want. We're our toughest critics, without a doubt, as coaches. And we take pride and we work hard to try to do everything we can to get these guys to be successful and get everybody the ball. And that's what we do. That's the only thing we look at.
Obviously, every area is going to need improvement, and you're going to strive for that anywhere. Is there one aspect, though, that you feel like you sort of hung your hat on, so to speak, this year, and said, okay, that we have that covered now. We have to move on to that.
There's a couple things that we see definite improvement on. For us, again, it's about consistency. We want to see those guys be consistent out there together. But there's definitely some things that we can build off of, and there's a lot of things that we'll have to look at to improve on.
What are one or two of them?
There's a lot of things. Right now, I'm getting ready for Washington, and but there's going to be a lot of things that we're excited to look at.
I'm sure you're not focused on stats during a game. In Miami, when someone hands you the game book or whatever, you see 103 total yards. What goes through your head?
After that game, I didn't even take the game book. I mean, in the end, stats don't matter. It's about the win and the loss column, and I know we lost and lost by a lot, and didn't score any points. So that's really the only thing that matters to me, and it was very frustrating. It was frustrating for all of us. We need to get G more involved. We need to get all the guys more involved, and that's my job. And so we didn't do a good job at that.
Can you get guys involved if you guys can't protect the quarterback?
Got to find a way.
You have conviction and belief that this system, this scheme works. How do you keep confident when, I go back to Denver, but when there were struggles in Denver, some additional struggles this year, that no, this does work, and not fall into the trap of blow this up, does this actually work? Oh, we have to make wholesale changes kind of a thing.
Well, I think you have to look at it. There's so many things that we look at so specifically. And you look at last year, you look at this year, you look at all of it, and then you look at those other years that have been so positive. Jacksonville, at Green Bay, at Buffalo, and all the different places that I've been, and just the history of it. And you have to continually build those pieces. We just got here this year. We've had unbelievable amount of changes. So there's reasons why everything happened. And so as long as we're able to identify those and get the pieces in the right places, it'll be very good.
Do you think that the offense needs to adapt to be more generically quarterback friendly as opposed to one specific quarterback friendly?
One more time, give me that one again.
So in other words, does this offense need to be more friendly to a lot of quarterbacks as a possibility, or are you happy with it just being Aaron Rodgers friendly?
I think we have a system that, there's so many different systems out there, and a lot of people run a lot of the same concepts. They just might name them different, teach it different. So we have a large playbook, and you want to cater it to each quarterback individually. Like with Trevor now, we want to try to get the things that he's most comfortable with, which might be some of the things that Aaron really likes, and might be some of the things that Zach likes. So every single guy is different. You always want that play to be called that he feels he can execute at a high level. So we want enough to be able to adapt to anybody that might be out on the field. Same thing with the skill players. Aaron's going to be a lot different than anybody. So we want to have enough for everyone.